Yeah, so here we are with Mike Moll today. He's just had a great career of track and is still running as it is. He coached at Bellarmine. He's a Louisville native. He's done all around Louisville undergrad. So yeah. So basically, when did you first join track and what's your background with that?
My dad actually helped start the track program at Bellarmine back when it was known as Bellarmine College.
Oh.
And so some of my earliest memories are, and then he followed up by being a track official. And so some of my earliest memories of track and field are going to high school and collegiate track meets where he was an official. Oftentimes he was the starter.
Nice.
In terms of my own competing, he took me to a Louisville track club event when I was either 8 or 9 years old, and stuck me in there and basically said, when they say go, run through that finish line. And I won, and that was the beginning.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, yeah.
So what was the race, the 100 or what?
It was the 100,
yeah.
Sure was, yeah.
Nice. Because it seems like from your stats that I've been looking at, you kind of stick to the 60 and 100 now. Is that what you still did growing up, or did you go to the 400?
I did the Holy Trinity. I did the 100, 2, and 4, and he was a hurdler, and he tried to get me to hurdle, and that didn't work well.
Oh yeah.
And then at one point, one middle school coach tried to push me to the 800, and that didn't work well either. No. So I stuck with the straightaway sprints, and then 60 indoor, 100 outdoor, and then the 200, 400 until I started having some hip issues a few years ago and had some surgery. So I've cut out the curve races now, and I just stick with straightaway races.
Yeah, the 400 is a hard race. I would sadly know. So, but yeah, so you coached a little bit at Bellarmine, and how was that experience for you as a coach instead of a runner for once?
It was great. It was interesting. I love to coach. I, in addition to running, most of my sports career, I also played basketball up through a couple years in college, and I had coached 3 different levels of basketball: grade school, freshman, and then junior varsity and varsity in high school. So I knew I loved coaching, and that was really the first opportunity at the collegiate level for me to help coach at track and field, and I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, one of the reasons I was able to coach was because I mentioned the hip surgery. My hip was acting up, so I wasn't able to compete that year.
Yeah.
So it was interesting and fun to be able to still stay engaged with track and field, even though I wasn't able to compete at all.
Yeah, and kind of how your dad started the whole program, that had obviously a big impact on you and stuff. So it's just cool to see that too.
It did, and it was cool to think about him, helping start that program and be down there, essentially in the same area. It was a cinder track back in those days.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, that's how long ago it was. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm on the track team, obviously. So how is staying involved at our practices while seeing us train help you train as well? What do you think?
It's very motivating. You guys put up with my dad jokes and goofiness. I saw Jim Vargo, who recently retired a second time as the director of track, and I knew Jim from college-related days, and he had seen me doing my workouts over in Seneca Park in the grass because it's not easy to find tracks, especially rubberized tracks, right? And he said, you need to come over and work out on the track while the track team was working out. And I was really self-conscious and thought, I never say, who is this old dude over here? But eventually he kept persisting, and so I came over and started working out, and then with each successive season, got to know more of the coaches and more of the teams, which eventually led to the coaching gig there in 2019 and 2020. So yes, it has been great for me. I really appreciate the interaction with the team, the coaches there at the school, and to be able to volunteer and help in ways that I can.
It's just it really is great having you there. I mean, I can always hear you whistling around the track when I know I'm close to the finish, just pushing myself. I mean, we motivate you, but you motivate us as well. So it's just kind of a good, we can benefit each other in a way.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because it certainly does help me. There's nothing lonelier and harder than a hard track workout by yourself.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, I experienced that over the summer for sure. It is not. It's not fun.
It is not fun. No. I miss you guys when I work out there in the 90-degree heat in the summer. I definitely miss you guys.
Yeah. So, like, this transition, so you've been, like, competing for a while now, like, in the Masters League. So what's kept you going for that long of time? Because it's back in 2012, right?
Yeah, and actually, I started Masters when I turned 40. Again, back to my dad. My dad ran the hurdles and threw the discus, and he started competing at Masters level. So I would go and watch him compete.
Yeah.
And then when I hit 40, I was like, I wonder, I just wonder. So I started working out a little bit, and then entered a couple of races and did pretty well. And so from the early 40s until now, I've just continued to, it's a way to stay in shape. Actually, when I first started competing again, I had quit playing organized basketball, too many injuries.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a way to stay in shape that was fun. And the older I've gotten, the more I've realized how extremely competitive I can be. Even with this laid-back demeanor, I'm very, very competitive, and I need to channel that in ways. And so this was a cool way to do it. And there were a couple of guys right around my age group that I knew in town that were competing as well. So I started traveling with them to Nashville, Indy, and some other places, and met with some success. And that, that reinforces what you're doing. So it's a great way to stay in shape and stay competitive and be friends.
Yeah, I mean, that's really awesome to still be running and stuff. I mean, you never know, like, everyone's just different, like, genetically, and, like, still be able to run this long is just awesome to see. So, like, let's talk about, like, some of your stats. So, yeah, the past 2 years, indoor, you're ranked number 93 in the world with your 60 time and 22 U.S. ranked for your track meet in the U.S. Track and Field KY Association meet in Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that race for you?
It was good. So in Masters levels, you run in age groups and you run against the clock. So there'd be times where I'll run in the open division, collegiate meets or high school meets, and get my butt kicked. But really, I just have to keep in mind who I'm racing against is the clock, because they'll establish all-American standards by the age group that you're in. So as I'm getting higher in an age group, it's getting harder.
Yeah.
Running against those young guys, that are 3 years younger than me. But it's motivating because since I started working out more consistently with the track and with the track team, my times have gotten better relative to my age group, and I've made All-American status the last 7-8 years. Indoor, outdoor, the standard for the 100's a little tougher. But to get that All-American status is very cool too, and that was an All-American.
Yeah, I was gonna say, outdoor, for the 100, you were 200 world ranked, and then 41 U.S. ranked for the 100 meter. So that was awesome too to see.
Yeah, so that's Masters.com is a platform that rates Masters level competition all over the world. So that's kind of cool too.
It is cool to see you
rank yourself. I was able to represent the United States in the World Indoor Games last year. It happened to be in Gainesville. So I went down there and competed and finished. And my age group finished 23rd out of 62 internationally. So that was very,
awesome,
very cool. And then this past summer, I ran in the United States Track and Field Nationals. And finished 6th. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. So, what's been like your most memorable race as a master?
That was pretty easy because as part of the World Indoor Championships, you were a member of the United States team, so I got the official United States kit. I mean, singlet,
you did show us a picture of that.
Everything, like the Olympians do.
Yeah.
Had to sign forms that I wouldn't do deals with other than Nike, and that's like, who's going to sign me for anything? But that was very good. So if that wasn't cool enough to put the United States uniform on, the official United States Track and Field uniform on, then to go to the event, and just like at the Olympics or national championships, they put you in the call room and bring you out heat by heat, and they brought us out. There were probably 300 or 400 people in the crowd, and lined us up in your lane, and then they went lane by lane, and then it was in lane 7 representing the United States of America, Mike Moll, and that made the hair on the back of my neck it's like at that point, just don't fall down, right? Like, it cannot get any cooler than this.
Yeah, they probably like an unmatched feeling, like hearing your name announced and everything.
It was
Sure.
very,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So, like, last thing. So, what's one thing you wish you knew when you were competing at my age? You think?
Gosh, it's kind of a cliche, but try to have fun. It sounds really weird, but sometimes when I'm down there working at, you guys are doing your thing, and clearly you're doing 100 times more than I'm doing. But I'm sitting there and I'm warming up and I'm doing it, and I'm just to kind of end where we started. What you said earlier, I'm just happy I can still run fast.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's just this joy of I've always been fast, and it's just the joy of still being able to run fast. And sometimes that's just enough. It's hard in the moment. You guys have school, you got life, you got everything. I mean, everybody's got all of that, but at your age, I wish I would have taken a little more time to enjoy the adrenaline and the endorphins, and it's harder said than done, but that would be my advice to my younger self, would be enjoy it and don't worry so much about how well you finished or what the time was. You know, that's the other humbling thing about track and field. You are talking hundreds of a second sometimes, whether you're happy or sad with your time.
Yeah.
And that's a high standard for you to be able to compete. So I'd say ease up on myself a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, comparison's always been the thief of joy, so you just got to do your own race, run your own race. So.
Really, really like
Well, I think that's all for us today. But yes, thank you for tuning in with us. Yeah.
that. Well, thank you for the opportunity. Good to talk to you.
Okay, bye.